So I love when the media does this kind of segment that I'm about to show you here. And we've seen it, to be fair, it's not just Fox News. We've seen that even in like the New York Times and the Washington Post and CNN, what they'll do is they'll go to a diner at 6 a.m. in the middle of rural Bumblefucksville, Iowa, right? And they'll ask these people about politics. I mean, look, that's no different than going to like the middle of a gay bar in San Francisco at 2 a.m. and asking them about their politics. You're going to get an overwhelmingly conservative Republican view in the diner at 6 a.m. in Iowa, in rural America. Of course. Of course. Just like if you ask the guy in the gay bar wearing assless chaps at 2 a.m. in San Francisco his view on politics, he might say some pretty frickin' lefty things, don't you think? So, but they treat it as like, oh, this is a good indication of how everybody feels because we're in a diner in rural America at 6 a.m. Okay, so you guys, the deck is stacked here, right? The well is poisoned. They know what they're going to get. So anyway, here they are. This is in Michigan, in a diner at 6:19 a.m., and Fox and Friends are going to go and ask around, talk to these people about politics. Just watch. I don't even know what else to say. Just watch this.
I don't know how this is going to land with a jury, much less the public.
Yeah, Will, you make an interesting point because you talk about the case. And as you know, the former president continues to make this theme that they're after you, the American public. This is not about me. This is about targeting a political opponent.
I hate that point so much. They're not after me. They're after you. This is what Trump would say. They're after all of my big, beautiful constituents. They're after you, the American people, not after me. No, they are literally just after you. They're after you. It's you trying to overthrow the last election, committing 75 different types of fraud, doing defamation after the sexual assault. They're after you. So it's... He spins everything, right? Oh my God, it's so unfair. They're not coming after me. They're coming after you. And what happens? Well, some of his people, they go for it.
This young lady right here. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. We were talking about the former president being under prosecution right now.
For everybody just listening to this and not watching, she's wrapped in a Trump flag. She wrapped herself in a Trump flag. This will be good.
What do you make of it? Do you think that is fair?
No, I don't think it's fair. It's ridiculous. They're just trying to keep him busy so he can't run.
You were telling me yesterday that as you thought about the case and you were watching about what was going on in New York, that it brought you to tears. Why is that?
Tears, because we need Trump back or else we're going to lose our country. We're going to lose our country. And what's happening with these protesters is heartbreaking. It's history happening all over again, and they don't understand how bad it could get or will get if we don't get Trump back in.
She was crying. She was crying. She's wrapped in a Trump flag and crying, saying we need Trump back. And then there was a random shot at the pro-Palestine protesters in Colombia. What do you want to do about the protesters? NYPD already went in there and cracked some skulls. I'm sure you like that, didn't you? You want to arrest them all? Is that what you want to do? You want to not allow anybody to protest? Is that what you want? These are the same people who said they were pro-free speech like 7.5 minutes ago. Now when it's speech they don't like, we need to stop this. Get Trump in there to stop this. How unhinged are these people? How unhinged? And she's like, of course, it's not fair what they're doing to him. They're just trying to keep him off the campaign trail. What wouldn't be fair is if he committed all these crimes and you let him do it because he's a former president. So, hey, we don't charge elites with crimes. Let him get away with it. That would be unfair. That would mean justice is not blind and justice isn't applied equally. But no, she flips it. It's unfair to go after him for the crimes he committed. All right, she was the most unhinged one, but I want to keep listening to what these people have to say because there's always something in these.
Sir, how you doing?
Good.
I see you got your MAGA shirt on.
I do.
The president there's all these cases, but we're starting in New York. What do you feel about it? Do you think that is fair?
Not at all.
I love the softball questions. Do you think that the persecution and witch hunt of Trump is fair? Like, gee, I wonder what they're going to say.
Going after him just to keep him off the trail. And if it was anybody else, it wouldn't even be a case. But just because he's the president, they're going after him. It's the only way they can.
If it was anybody else, they would have been in jail years ago. Years and years and years ago. He gets away with so much because he's a former president.
So the question is, guys, can Donald Trump get a fair process in New York City? Sir, what do you think about that? You got Donald Trump, he's in Manhattan, you got a DA that made a campaign promise to go after him. The area that is seating the jury, only 80% of them are Democrats and only 20% of them voted for Donald Trump. Do you feel like they can be fair?
Absolutely not.
So what do you want? You want 100% pro-Trump people on the jury? Would that be fair to you guys? Then they would say it's fair. If everybody's massively pro-Trump, if everybody's part of the cult, that's fair. By the way, they are trying to control for political factors in this. They dismissed anybody who was very political. So they're trying to find people who don't care or are relatively apolitical or don't have extreme opinions. I think they dismissed one of the guys because he compared Trump to Berlusconi. That's just accurate. That's not a shot at him. That's not positive or negative. It's just, yeah, he reminds people of Silvio Berlusconi, the former Italian prime minister. He's very similar to him in many ways. That person made like an objective comparison that was a fair one, and they got kicked off. So the idea, oh my God, it's biased against him. They're just finding the most anti-Trump people they can. And that's not true. It's not true. And again, what they want is take the trial to Alabama, get everybody on the jury wearing a Trump hat, and then we'll say it's fair. Because anything biased in favor of Trump is fair. That's how they think about this.
The media as a whole has made it their mission to try and come together against Donald Trump, and that's all they're concerned about is beating him.
And what is Fox News and One American News Network and Newsmax and conservative media and Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder and all the right-wing independent Charlie Kirk, all these types of people, what are they doing? Oh, that's right. They come together to try to end Joe Biden. Right. So this, media is unfair going after Trump. Look, in some ways, I do think they go against Trump in dumb ways. I don't think they know how to do it properly based on policy, based on, actual information about how he is, etc. I think they're not the best at it. And yeah, they do go after Trump like that. But like, again, to them, it's okay. It's not okay to do that, but it is okay when I watch Fox News 24/7 and all they do is shit on Biden all day long, right? So it's just there's no consistency.
And why this is important is because Michigan is a swing state. The big question that is on voters' mind as well, guys, is why the timing? Why wait until the election to do this? You had like 3.5 years to come up with some sort of case.
Because they're bitches. They didn't want to pull the trigger right away. It was only when he decided, yeah, like I'm running, they were like, oh, he's not going silently into the night. I think they would have let him get away with all of his crimes if he didn't run. I do think that's true. So in a sense, you can say it's politically motivated, but that doesn't mean that the crimes aren't real. And they are. And if I had my way, they would have charged him whether or not he decided to run. All right, we could wrap it up there, but another one of those, we want to know what real people think. So we went to Trumpsville, Michigan, to talk to this very objective woman wearing a Trump flag and crying about how persecuted he is. Thank you. We're really in touch with what the average American is thinking there, even though all the polls show the opposite, that if he gets criminal conviction, he's very likely to lose. Very, very likely to lose. According to every poll, if he's criminally convicted, he's in real trouble. But they're trying to weave the narrative, push it in the opposite direction, and talk to unhinged weirdos who will give you terrible opinions. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.